Hi everybody, welcome to the November Supper Club. Hope you're gathering for a meal at dinner or sometimes breakfast, or some groups just meet for coffee, but wherever you are, hope you are having a great time together. I want to introduce Dee Cooper, our interim co-pastor. A lot of you have already met Dee in church. She's been with us since, what, October 1st?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And this is Dee's very first Supper Club video. It's a big moment in your career.
It is. I'm nervous.
This is, this could change everything for you.
Uh-oh.
This is,
No laughing.
No laughing. It's very serious.
Serious.
Yes, so let's practice our serious.
Serious.
Okay. This month we're going to ask a little something different of you. We're working with MCOM, Montview's Community Organizing Ministry, to collect some feedback from the church about how they feel about some concerns around the city or the country and in their own lives. And so we're going to ask you two questions, and I'm just going to give you those from the beginning, and then we'll unpack it a little bit. The first one is, what are your greatest concerns for Metro Denver or Colorado about which you'd be excited for Montview to get involved with? Okay. And the second one is, what are your biggest concerns for you and your own family? And what kind of programs or services at Montview would support you with those concerns that you have? And we know sometimes this can get a little political, when you start talking about concerns that you see out in the world. But we have to remember a few things. One, Montview has a long history of being active and kind of leaning into those, what could be polarizing and conflictual discussions. And so does the PCUSA. The Presbyterian Church USA is a part of our faith tradition to be active and alive and being willing to risk those kind of conversations. And we think we can do that, and we're going to talk some today about how you might do that.
And because we're in this time of transitioning, it's important to recognize that a time of transition involves a time of discernment, a time of listening, of active listening to the Spirit's leading, but also to ourselves and to one another. And so that's why this model for MCOM is great, because it provides for us an opportunity to get to know the congregation and to look at the common ground that we're working on.
Yeah.
The model they use is based on active listening, what concerns and cares we have as a congregation.
So there's some practical things. There should be a note taker. There's someone who's volunteered to take notes tonight. That person should collect what you talk about tonight, and then it's really important to protect the privacy and just the ethos and the personalities of the groups, to go back at the end of that and make sure everybody feels good about what's on the notes. They shouldn't have names on them. They should be anonymous. That's not what this is about. It's also not about having a political argument or debate, right? This is about deep listening to another person. And as always, you're perfectly free not to have this discussion at all. We know that sometimes the groups pay a lot of attention to the video and the questions. Some groups don't, and that's part of the joy of supper clubs. But if you do, we just think it's one more way to get to know each other, listen in on each other's lives, and to practice good listening.
So what we thought would be fun is we would create around this video just an opportunity to help you wander into what is good listening, what is active good listening, and to be curious about yourself, of what type of listener are you. Good listening always involves being active, not necessarily passive. So you're really engaged, you're really participating. There's also the component of responding. So they know you're listening. They're identifying that you're hearing what they're saying. And there's a piece of listening for content and feelings, not just content alone, but feelings, and picking up on the nonverbal cues. Active listening means you're not engaged in being bored, or you're not really paying attention. That would not be a good listening move. So, Ian, I understand you've been having a rough time at work, at the bank, and curious how things are going.
Yeah, thanks, Dee. It's been a long journey at the bank. I feel like mainly about this boss. He's been so hard on me, and I feel like I'm doing the best I can, and I'm just not getting much. I feel like sometimes he's not really there. He's not paying attention to what I'm doing. He doesn't care. It's been really hard, and things at home have been tough for me too. The kids are off to college now. And it's just, you know, I feel a little bored with my life, and I feel like I need some direction, you know? And it's just, I don't know where to turn anymore. So I'm really, you know, I need people to talk to, and I've been talking to everybody about it, and it's just, you know, I just feel like I need people to connect with. So thanks. Yeah.
You've really been wrestling with this a lot, I hear.
Yeah.
It's really important to you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And having people who can really, you know, be there for me is really important right now. So,
sorry about that.
Yeah, it's fine. So good listening is also about really staying present to what someone is saying, instead of in your mind preparing what you're going to say next, or, you know, getting your rebuttal put in order and debating them.
So Ian, I was talking with a seminarian, and we were talking about the history of the Reformation. And I realized in my conversation how much I deeply appreciate Martin Luther. What an amazing man he was. You know, he took that act of faith, he put the thesis on the door, the Wittenberg door. What an amazing theologian he was.
Wait a minute. But you got to understand, you're a Presbyterian, Dee, for Pete's sake. I mean, John Calvin, I mean, the Institutes are phenomenal. I mean, I got them right here. I mean, I carry them with me.
Well,
and have you not read these?
I have. I've actually read them in great detail and great attention to them. But Martin Luther was he was the foremost of birthing all of this. Calvin came along a little bit later, but Martin Luther really was.
I'll give you that Martin Luther laid a foundation, but really, the plant, the tree, whatever you want to call it, that's all Calvin. I mean, Luther was just, you know, the sod under the tree.
I know, but if you look at pictures of Martin Luther and John Calvin, who do you think is more happy?
Well,
I mean, Martin Luther has this happy,
he's
buoyant
better looking.
face.
I've always kind of
John
liked,
kind of was a little prunish.
A little sour.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
So good listening also involves listening for their unique experience and honoring that. It doesn't mean listening for how their experience intersects with your own and then injecting your own experience in that moment.
Dee, I'm so excited. My wife and I are just about to go. We found this it's a tree house, which sounds not so nice, but it's a really nice place. It's down in New Mexico, and you go, it's halfway between Taos and Santa Fe. It's gonna
Santa Fe? You know, I'm going to Santa Fe tomorrow. I'm leaving to go to Santa Fe, a great girls' weekend out. I'm so excited. I love Santa Fe. Yeah,
it's great. And so we're so excited because it's her 40th birthday. We've been planning this, and it's kind of a surprise for her. I haven't really celebrated her birthday.
You know, speaking of surprise birthdays, this is what we're going for. It's a dear friend of mine. It's her 50th birthday party. We're going to go down and I'll celebrate, have a great time together.
That's great.
So it seems like birthdays and Santa Fe's. Yeah.
Thanks. That's great.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we hope you have enjoyed Bad Listening Theater, and we'll leave you with just a few thoughts in all seriousness of as you're listening. One great thing to keep in mind is that this is a child of God sitting in front of you, and they have come to the place that they're at and the experiences and the opinions they have as legitimately as you have. You've taken a different path, and honoring that is an important thing that you can do.
Another is to cultivate an interest in them as a person. It's really being aware of learning something new about them and not just gaining information to either debate or to be right.
You don't have to fix them. That's the thing I remember for myself all the time. So if something comes up for you, you're feeling angry or some kind of resistance or anything, that's really great information for you and to reflect on later of why did I respond that way. But you don't need to, in that moment, fix the other person.
And you can disagree with someone. You can still listen with them, but if you disagree, it's okay. You can still be friends. We appreciate you helping us out with this wonderful endeavor, and also with MCOM, helping to learn information about one another and about Montview. And we hope you have a great dinner, and also see you next month.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.